I am here a little bit early. I'm also a little bit quiet, which you'll be able to see why right about now. Hello. Yeah, I've having to do the old YouTuber with a mic thing this evening, and this mic is a bit quiet on the pickup. So, soz about that. You're just going to have to turn your own volume up, I think. Yeah, it definitely seems to be quite limited. The sound on this microphone. I'm also early by about 40 minutes. And the reason for this is because, the e-chapel, well, the physical place where the e-chapel is still where it always is, on Twitch. But the physical place where I am is a different physical place, still in South Wales. So I don't have to change the name of the South Wales Discordian Press. I'm still in South Wales. In fact, I'm only about half an hour's drive away from where I was last time you saw me, which was last Friday. But yeah, I've come in a bit early because due to moving, scheduling, being a bit out, I haven't eaten yet, and I want to eat, and I don't want to have to wait until 8 and let my food get cold, because my food should be arriving sometime soon. So apologies for that. I may also rip through this one quite fast. Quite fast. So there we go. But that's the way it is in the crazy world of Discordianism. So here we are, new location. You can see a lovely coat hanger behind me in an empty wardrobe. We love to put a coat hanger, and you can see some books, hardback books, trussed up like a Christmas turkey, because I still haven't unwrapped them. Because, funny thing is, hardback graphic novels, not an essential thing when you first move into a house. Not like cups, plates, pants, those things. They are things that you would want. We should be solid as a rock, a touch wood, on the old broadcast front this week, because we now have a wired connection. One of the many advantages of shifting all the stuff around the way that it has been. So hopefully no frames dropped. That's what I want to see. No frames dropped. Well, because I'm wired connection. Of course I want to see no frames dropped. That's like the bare minimum. I'm broadcasting 30 frames per second with a cap of about 3,600 kbps. So I definitely don't want to see any frames drop. My broadband is supposed to be super fast for that thing. But we'll see. Okay, so here we are. And I am going to go into this mode so that we can have a look at what's going on. Disclaimer. Of course, we have to do disclaimer. This week's disclaimer, ceci n'est pas un disclaimer. So there we go. That's all we needed to know about that. We're going to do an order of service now. We're going to have Deep Thoughts, our sermon of the week. And we're going to follow on with Kandar, the Q&A. And then World of Chaos, Collective Tarot, Weekly Sacrament. It's all the usual stuff, just from a new place with a new outlook, new view of the world. I'm going the wrong way. So apparently my camera's centered there. Okay, I'm going to lean jauntily and talk into the microphone here, like this, just to get it working. So let's see what I go on with the deep thought this week. Confusion dies down, yes. Next week, when the confusion of having moved locations will have died down a bit more, I think. I mean, we've done pretty well for the first few days, but really, it's quite difficult moving a house from a house you've lived in for 11 years and had, there's a child there and a pet, and us, we've just accumulated all this stuff over the years. So that obviously has caused quite a deal of confusion, because it is a season of confusion, and that has resulted in the microphone thing for this week, and it has resulted in the setup being a bit bare bones. Has resulted in, wow, it's impressive I'm even here doing this right now in the dying time of confusion. Things can only get better. as an electronic dance music song from the 90s, once related. But yeah, so next week, on the day of the service, it'll be a double whammy service. It'll be the weekly service combined with the season change service for next week. Beginneth on the Friday, the season of bureaucracy. So there we are. We will be moving through, and that will signal that I've been doing this for nearly a year. I think the one after that, or after the one after that, is sometime by September. We'll definitely have the snake will have eaten its own tail, but I'm not exactly sure. I've probably got obviously probably on the YouTube channel it shows the first one. Maybe I didn't put the first one over. Maybe I didn't think of that. I don't know. But the point is that I've been doing this for nearly a year. What have we learned? Well, that's not going to come up next week because next week's season change. But yeah, during this season of bureaucracy, we'll do some bureaucracy. We'll take account of where we've come from and where we're going to and all of that malarkey. So there we go. And that is really all the deep thought that there is this week. Times are moving on. Times are changing. Reflect upon your own confusion and wonder what will happen when it dies down to be replaced with bureaucracy that will last all the way till late October, when we shall once again enter the aftermath. So yeah, that is what's coming up in the next few weeks, really. Nobody's here to derail me because I've cheated and started the service dead early. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but I'm hungry, goddammit. I haven't eaten since lunchtime. I've been moving. I've been doing chores as well. It's this constant moving house is a constant barrage of things you should do, and so you end up doing them, carrying things around the house, unpacking things, so on and so forth. So and besides, we're going to talk about more topical, deeper stuff shortly when we hit, of course, the World of Chaos segment. So let's just take that as the thought of the week. Confusion is over, or at least it will be in 7 days, and then we can settle down to some nice bureaucracy, autumnal bureaucracy. So there we are. Yeah, there's nobody to ask any questions, and like I said, hungry. So it is the World of Chaos. We're going to take a look what's going on in the World of Chaos this week. Well, I think there's only one thing that's on everybody's mind in the Discordian world this week. If you are even vaguely Discordian, or you're just hiding your Discordianism under a state of confusion, not really knowing what Discordian even means. Authority has come for the internet, and it was bound to happen, I guess. People kept using the words Wild West to describe the internet. They say, really is a Wild West. And you'll be like, yeah, I wonder how long that's going to last. And the answer is until now, until August of 2025. We have a thing. And it's even more interesting than that. Because, I am in South Wales, which is part of the United Kingdom. And it is the United Kingdom that have made the first jab at the anarchic internet by passing a law that requires age verification to see adult materials. But of course the internet is global, so it is now illegal to let people from the UK see those adult materials without age verifying first. Great, that's wonderful. Although it has to be said that policymakers, being what they are, they didn't really ask any questions about how that would work, technologically, or whether people could just, sign up to a VPN and avoid it altogether. And the thing about it is that despite the fact that this is just the UK at the moment, everyone around the world has gone nuts because the sites that are concerned trying to avoid any kind of litigation or financial ruin have, they've said, well, it's going to start here and then it's going to go to lots of other places after here, which is, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be true. So yeah, that's what's happening now. Yeah, that's how it be across the world. So the UK have basically ruined it for everyone. And the thing is that it's what's really interesting about it. So yeah, your VPN is showing, which people have just hopped on those VPNs. It's fine, but the fact is, right, that although for the individual, the VPN pretty much solves it for a start. Yeah, as people have pointed out very quickly, there are a lot of shady VPNs, so you're going to have to shop around. But how many people who just want to see some of them titties are going to get to that point and go, oh, do you know what? I'm going to carefully vet my choice of VPN before just signing on the dotted line in order to pretend that I'm in Shanghai or whatever, and just probably not Shanghai, Hyderabad. There we go. Pretend I'm in Hyderabad, and then there we are. No restrictions anymore. Who's going to be like? Who in that frame of mind is going to be like trying to find a decent, reputable VPN? And some of the big commercial ones, they're a bit iffy. They're a bit iffy because anything big and when you use the word big and commercial to describe an enterprise, iffy kind of comes with the territory. So yeah, so people are just willy-nilly throwing their... Look, this is the thing. It was supposed to be a protection, mostly for children. Yeah, well, yeah, no, actually specifically. Every time anyone says, but all of these problems, they just go, but think of the children. So it's, pitched to be of children, but it is... as we speak, creating a great festering sore of privacy exposure due to unwise, non-prudent use of things that are supposed to keep you private. And the thing is, as well, people have noted that it is not, they've come for the corn, but it's also affecting other things, news articles, things like that. So and that you really can't access these things. I mean, for God's sake, last week we heard that various parties, large parties, notably Wikipedia, for example, are actually suing the UK government over this business. So it is. I mean, this is the thing. It is the perfect event to take place during the season of confusion, because confusion is baked into the very concept and has thoroughly been caused by this. So the question becomes, will the law be an ass? Will it be easily circumventable once you know a few tricks? Yeah, will that be the case? And at that point, this is the thing. Will it prove eventually to be unenforceable to a certain degree in its spirit? Because people are quite happy to violate its spirit. Indeed, to violate themselves. Because last time we had a law similar, and I cannot remember what the nature of the law was, which was, as they put it, unenforceable. They said you have to be very very careful if you are a government that wants to make a law that is unenforceable, because the problem with an unenforceable law is you can't enforce it. But the problem with it being a law is that once people have kind of got their heads around the fact that they are partaking in they are spitting in the face of an unenforceable law, then they start to get a sort of a bit cheeky about enforceable laws. They begin to regard the law as low because there's a bit of it that just doesn't work. And so that sort of mentally creates this thing where the law is vulnerable in one part, and that spreads, and people have less respect for the law as a result. Is this going to happen here? Only time will tell, but it is a large site. I mean, this is the point. Confusion again. Confusion reigning. And of course, yes, the reverse privacy paradox. The whole point of it is that when you are allowed to be anonymous to do activities where you should be anonymous, then then that's fine. You're anonymous. Yeah. I mean, okay. So there are also activities that you can do where you should maybe not want to be anonymous, and that's what they're trying to filter out. Yeah. Or they need to know who you are. But the problem with that is by taking effectively a crowbar to that privacy, you are opening up privacy vulnerabilities for everyone, thus making everyone a lot less safe. And there are those who have also gone, a different route than VPN, the old Tor route. And the point is that the things that you can access by preserving your anonymity by stepping out of the relatively safe confines of what we would think of as the public internet, that there is an argument to say that the downsides of forcing people into these digital back alleys, this digital Mos Eisley, a wretched hive of scum and villainy, that will necessarily make people less safe because they are wandering around in dangerous internet places that they shouldn't be in order to do something they used to be able to do on the normal everyday internet. But so it could be a bit of an own goal. There are lots of downsides to what is happening at the moment for the individual, and actually not really many upsides for the government. They're exposing themselves to a lot of risk of just general morale. And by morale, I'm going back to this thing of if the law proves to be unenforceable, people are using Tor routers, they're using VPNs, they're just walking straight around, and just this Jurassic Parking all over the place where the monsters get out and chaos reigns. Yeah, that's bad for governments. So, will it be a bit of an own goal? Again, only time will tell. We can say this, grey face is riding again, because the whole point and spirit of this is a measure of control that we in the Discordian faith know you will never have, because all appearance of control is merely illusion. It is people consenting to be controlled. Anarchy is the natural state of the universe. Grey face is going to lose again. And those cursed with the grey face curse, I should have thought that through before. Those burdened with the grey face curse will only recognise the failure of their neurotic need to control us all when it's too late. That was the World of Chaos for this week, the final week of the Season of Confusion, Org Trust 2025. Thank you very much for your kind time and attention in this. It's time for Reflective Tarot, and there's no one there to pick a card, so I'll just take the one off the top. As usual, the deck has been shuffled 5 times and then cut, so the card that the goddess wishes us to see this week is, right there, on the top. I don't know what it is, you don't know what it is. Nobody knows what it is. I've angled that wrong to get the pattern on the back. I like the pattern on the back of the card. Oh well, never mind. We'll have to see what it is. Oh, there we go. If I held it like that. I'm still not looking at what the card is because I'm looking at my monitor to see what the card looks like on the back. There we go. Right, so here we are. I've got the card. Here it is. We're going to flip it over and we're going to see this week the Reflective Tarot card is... Oh, the Ten of Swords. Oh my lord, the Ten of Swords. It's not a cheery looking card by any stretch of the imagination. It looks a little bit like something's gone very, very wrong there. But I'll tell you what, this is one of the cards that I've had to study it a lot, and I've been able to boil it right down to one meaning, and that meaning is case closed. You think there's a question to ask? There isn't. You think there's something more to discover? There isn't. You think you can learn more about it? You can't. It's over. Whatever it is, it's the energy of things being over. And of course, the swords are about, bullshit. Like that bullshit that comes your way. People niggling at you, people lying to you, people talking about you behind your back, people putting unnecessary bureaucracy in your way just to make your life more difficult. All that stuff that you have to deal with that's in the intellectual realm of just having to deal with other people's stuff might not necessarily affect you emotionally. It's just tedious, yeah? And so that's the realm we're talking about. But this is an energy that says, hey, let's not worry about that stuff. And I'll tell you why, because it's over. It will begin again, trust me. But right now it's over. Very appropriate for me, personally, for obvious reasons. Is it very appropriate for you? Well, only you will know that. But that is the official card of the week from the goddess herself. We have seen the tarot and we have reflected upon it. Wonderful. I have raced through this like a racer. If you are watching this asynchronously, because if you're watching this asynchronously on YouTube, so much it's the same as usual. Fewer people chatting. If you're watching this asynchronously on Twitch because you're like, you sneaky so-and-so, you've come in early and started your service early. Sorry. I really needed to get through it this week because I've just moved house. I'm playing the I've just moved house card. Next week the setup will be, dare I say it, much better than this. I even have like a little pop-up green screen and stuff that I might start fiddling around with in order to increase the wonderfulness of the stream layout. But this week is not the week for by the book ceremonial ceremony, I'm afraid. So there we are. Sorry, I apologise. I've apologised as much as I'm going to. Not going to apologise anymore because, of course, it is time for the weekly sacrament, and they've made it all the way here. Here are my sacramental hot dogs. No bun, which is quite obvious when you look at them. And there's no bun. These things don't come with buns, and therefore, I wouldn't eat the bun. I wouldn't eat the bun if it did come with one. So there we go. Sacramental hot dog. You, of course, make any consumable through the miracle of transubstantiation, whatever consumable you choose to consume right about now, when I have said the mantra and pop this in my mouth, it will, as mine does, transform into an official Discordian Eris approved hot dog in your mouth. Transubstantiation, it's not just for weird quasi-cannibalistic death cult rituals. So there we go, cool. Here we go. I will say the mantra that we say when we're about to do the sacrament. I could not find a hot dog, not even with a bun. So I eat this random consumable because devotion comes with fun. Hail Eris. Oh, I can feel the spirit of chaos flowing through me. It's very, very sugary. Wow. Cool. And that, my friends, is the extremely hyper-fast service for the 1st of Org Trust 2025. Like I said, I moved house, so I mean, it's amazing that the setup, I managed to get all the bits of the setup and the wired internet connection. I managed to get it all sorted out. But I realised as I was setting it up, which was this afternoon, as it happens, that I've got this room laid out a bit wrong, and so I can't really. Oh, now this is the kind of thing that happens. Yeah, I'm just going. Well, I can't do anything. Oh no, it's fine. We'll answer the phone call. Hello, my dear. 1, my phone is broken, and 2, I'm just finishing my service. Oh, at McDonald's?
Yeah.
The Golden Arches. Okay, that's fine. See you soon. Bye. I don't know how much have you heard of this. Yes, I'm having a burger fatigue because, well, the thing is, we've always had this thing with my son where he goes swimming, or he used to go swimming lessons. And at the beginning of those swimming lessons, he couldn't swim. So we wanted to encourage him to stick with it, because we don't like taking him to the pool where we think, oh my God, he could drown at any minute. Well, he stuck with those swimming lessons dedicatedly for over a year and learned to swim. And when he finally got the badge to say, well, you can for all leisure purposes, you can now swim. We said, do you want to continue doing this then, or do you want to stop? And he was like, I want to continue. And after swimming, as a little reward, we would give him McDonald's, the Golden Arches. I'm not advertising McDonald's, I'm just telling you that he is a child and therefore enjoys a chicken nugget on occasion. What are you going to do? And obviously, as a child of 9, if you leave yourself a weakness or an opening, he will just ask for the arches every meal, every day, any opportunity. If they don't build those arches on the big pole high into the sky so you can see a branch of the old Mickeys from a mile away for fun. They do it because they know that every child of between the ages of 6 and probably, I don't know, he hasn't got old enough to grow out of it yet. Every time they see them, they're going to have an urge to demand the greasy joy. And to be fair, in the UK, it is a bit of a different situation to other parts of the world. We still have EU food standards baked into our law, so that everything that has to be served has to come up to certain food standards. If it was archers from some places, oh my lord, she knows I'm doing a service. What's the problem? Hello. Oh, you just caught it. Okay. She just caught it. She knows. She knew, and she wasn't trying to. Confusion indeed. Confusion, everyone. But yeah, anyway, so the interesting thing about it was, simultaneously, we were rewarding him for sticking with the swimming, learning not to drown. Yeah. We were also saying, oh, but we're not going to have it any other time. And he kind of accepted that. He will get it at this one occasion, but you won't get it any other time. So don't even bother to ask. And that has worked a treat. I can tell you. So it's like our weekly sort of, unhealthy treat kind of thing. And today, which is Friday, he went swimming just as an activity. He's on school break at the moment. And so we just thought we'd do it now. And tomorrow we're going to have a curry, nice curry at home. So that's what we're going to do. But usually it would be on a Saturday. But everything is jumbled up because of school holidays and relocations. So there we go. That's a little window into your Discordian pastor's life. And I think that kind of brings us to the end. So I shall say, hey Eris, if, as I say, you're watching asynchronously on Twitch because you weren't aware that I was going to be early, which I didn't tell anyone. I didn't put out any announcement. I just went, well, I have to do this because otherwise I won't be sitting down to my evening meal till after 8 p.m. And I can't force anyone else to wait, and my food will probably get cold. So, yeah, I didn't have a choice. But thank you very much. And to be fair, as we're coming up for a year, there will be a more thankful, grateful service to come in the next few weeks. And we should see some improvements to the stream format. At the moment, I can see you can see cardboard boxes, you can see empty wardrobes, you can see spare gaming chairs, you can see all sorts of stuff just lying around in the background because that's where we are with life. Next week, fingers crossed, things should be a little bit more organised, which sounds wrong for a Discordian service, but that's where we are. Hail Eris, everyone! All hail Discordia! I will catch you again in the season of bureaucracy in the month of Org Trust 2025. Hail Eris!